Hello, Blue Jays fans. Welcome in here to East Coast Blue Jays. I'm your host, Patrick Mercon, and I got the one, the only Pops next door to me. How you doing, Pops?
I'm doing great today, Pat. Beautiful day out there,
Oh,
20 degrees.
it is friggin' amazing out there. So we decided to do an early show today. We usually do the 8 o'clock Atlantic time show, but it's 4 o'clock right now, Atlantic time. I figured we get on here a little earlier just to shoot the shit and see what's on our mind, discuss a few things. It's an off day today. The Jays are playing the Angels tomorrow night, as you can tell from above, 10:30 p.m. Atlantic time. So it's a late game. So we're probably not going to be on. That's a little late for me to get on.
Yeah, way too late.
But we'll probably end up doing a day show just like today. So we'll probably do another show it'd be a pre-game show.
Yeah,
Kind of
exactly.
thing. And we'll discuss some more about things. But yeah, thank you all for coming in again to East Coast Blue Jays. But yeah. So what's on your mind today, Dad? Anything you heard about the wonderful world of the Blue Jays or what?
Well, they say help is on the way.
They say help is on the way. Okay, well, I hope help is on the way because we're going to need it.
They've been on the way the first day they played, and they still hasn't seen it.
Yeah, well, there has been some help that has been on the way. I don't know if it's the help that all Toronto Blue Jays want to hear, but it's a little bit of help, and we definitely do need as much help as we can because we are struggling. So, there's been some roster moves, as you know, Pops.
Yeah.
And the roster moves, and I'll let you know. So as you few years know already, right-handed pitcher Spencer Turnbull signed a 1-year contract and deal with the Toronto Blue Jays. But at the moment, he's been optioned to Florida Complex League in the Blue Jays organization. As you know, if I'm not sure, he had a lat strain injury. So this was last year, and he's been through rehab for a while. And so the Blue Jays picked him up. So he's going to be spending some time down in the league. Have you heard much about that guy, or?
No, not really. I hope he's better than what we have up here. We haven't got much up here. They're letting us down, our pitchers.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know a little bit about him. So, as you know, he signed a major league deal with the Jays. He started his career for Detroit for 5 years, and then this past year he's been this last year he played for the Philadelphia Phillies organization. And he did very well last year. If I can pop some stuff up here. So anyway, he played in 17 games last year. He started 7. So he's not only a starter, but he's also a relief guy too. But we're definitely going to be needing him. Let me see here. So both Turnbull and Urna. So Jose Urna.
Yeah.
Yeah, Urna. I think it's pronounced Rena.
Yeah.
But he is the other Toronto Blue Jays pitcher that picked up. So he's also a right-handed pitcher that signed a major league deal with the Toronto Blue Jays. And word has it that he's probably going to be starting in this upcoming series against the Los Angeles Angels. So yeah. Max. Hey, Michael Goodridge, welcome in, my friend. We figured we'd come in on the show on a day show here, and because it's movie night.
Yeah, movie time.
Yeah, so we decided to come on a little early and have a little discussion with all you viewers. But thanks for coming in, Michael. Thanks again. So yeah, as I said, there was 2 major league deals. Spencer Turnbull and Jose Rena, they're both agreed to a 1-year major league contract. So Jose, he'll be starting with the Blue Jays. Word has it he's going to be starting this coming week or so, I assume. Yep. And Spencer Turnbull, he's going to be going down to the Florida Complex League. So he's going to be down there for a little while.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need some more pitchers.
Yes, definitely.
We're
And
bound to find somebody.
well, hopefully, because there's a lot of good pitchers that are hurt, and one of them is a right-handed pitcher, Max Scherzer. So
Yeah.
Max Scherzer, he's going to be on this 60-day IL list. Eric Swanson is back on the injured list. He's going to be on a 60-day injured list. And they just optioned left-handed pitcher Josh Walker. So he was optioned down to the AAA. So it's not real good to hear. Welcome in, Volko. Yes, Scherzer is on the 60-day IL list, but he can be reinstated off the IL by the end of this month. Well, I hope so, because we're paying this guy a lot of money, and he hasn't played much at all, has he, Dad?
No, he only played, I think, 2 games. Barely. He hasn't helped us, really.
He only played 1 game.
I thought he went into another game, played 1 inning.
No.
No?
I went on ESPN, and stats show 2025 regular season, he's played 1 game. His ERA is 6. He was only in 3 innings, struck out 1, and he has a whip of 1. That's it.
Jeez.
He pitched more in the spring training. Well, he got hurt in the spring training with his thumb. He got the cortisone shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, he played 1 game.
That's pretty good money for 1 game.
Yeah. So a tweet by Ben Nicholson Smith. This was probably 3 hours ago. Max Scherzer last pitch in a big league game against game in March 29th. So the soonest he could be active at MLB level again would be May 29th. He needs time to ramp up though, which leads to me he'll move the 60-day. Yeah. So yeah.
Seems like half the players are taking the summer off. You got half of them on injured list.
Summer hasn't even started yet. So
I know. Then we'll be back until the middle of June.
yeah. Michael Goodrich says, I'm on the IL since Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to go on IL too. I hurt my shoulder the other day lifting up a case of water bottles.
You're going to have to be careful there, Dad.
Yeah,
Maybe it was all those Joe Louis you've been eating.
probably.
All those Joe Louis. No. Yeah, so he only played, like I said, he played 1 game. He's got 3 innings playing for the Blue Jays. I remember watching it too.
Yeah.
And so it's disappointing. But I had a feeling that he's not going to be back anytime soon. I mean, we're paying him $15 million, and yes, he is a great guy to have into the bullpen to help out the guys as far as information and communication. But that's pretty much all he's doing right now.
Yeah, he's trying to talk to everybody as much as he can. It's only so much information you can give a player. You got to go up and do it himself.
Yeah. So like I said, Blue Jays announced signings of both Jose Reyna and Spencer Turnbull. Lefty Josh Walker option to AAA Buffalo for a year now, while Turnbull option to Complex League roster to build up. So Turnbull, as far as Turnbull, he also got hurt last year, his lat strain. So I think it was, I forget when it was, but he was back in rehab. I think it was October. He wasn't signed up with any teams this year, but the Blue Jays just picked him up, and now they want him up here as soon as possible.
Yeah.
They want him get ramped up, get built up, get stronger, because right now we need a lot of help. We need a lot of help more than the bullpen right now. Don't you think, Dad?
I think the whole team is letting the pitchers down, really. Because the pitchers are doing their best. They're holding us in the game. Every game we played, the pitchers have been there for us, but
Yeah.
the players hasn't been there for them. They're not hitting at all. They're not getting runs ahead. I don't think there's one game we have more than 2 runs. It's getting really kind of, I would say, pathetic in a way.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely getting pathetic. But as far as the hitting part, we'll get to that soon. But the bullpen area, I'm pretty excited about Spencer Turnbull. I'm excited because he has an ERA of 2.65 last year. He started 7 games, so he's a starter. He's a well-known starter. His best season he had was the second season with the Detroit back in 2019. He pitched over 30 games. His winning wasn't the best, 3-17. But the Detroit Tigers weren't great back then. They were terrible.
Yeah.
But they do have a better team now. The Detroit Tigers definitely are improving.
Yeah.
Definitely improving. So I'm pretty excited about that guy. Jose Rena. He has 14 years into the league.
Okay.
I'm not too sure about this guy, but he is also a starter. He has started over his career 152 games. So he's a guy that can definitely do some things for us. But yeah.
Yeah. No, I like to see them come up and try and help his team out, help the bullpen out anyway, because they're not really struggling.
No.
We just can't get the players to hit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can bring up as many as you want. You can bring in another 10 good players up, but if the offense can't hit, it's just a waste of time.
Yeah, exactly. Jay's Talk, welcome in. Yeah, that was an awful team, so that's probably why. His numbers were real good. Spencer Turnbull, like he played 30 games and he went 3 for 17 that year. His WAR was 2.3, which was really good. His ERA was 4.61, and he struck out 146 batters that year. So he pretty had a decent year that year. So yeah,
he could be a big help for us, like you said.
Oh, we're gonna get to this question. Did you guys catch the Jets game last night? And what ending to the third period? What an ending to the third period. Well, I didn't watch the game. Did you watch the game last night?
I watched the whole game last night. Double header.
What time did it finish at?
Oh, I must have finished. I don't know what time, but it was probably 2 hours later. No, they scored the tying goal, 1.6 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, I seen
that. That was a fantastic play.
Yeah, I seen the highlights of it. I think it was like 2 or 3 seconds. I was like, that was crazy. And then they came back and winning it over in overtime. But definitely,
No, we got 3 Canadian team that's in there now, so we should be proud of them.
Yes, definitely. I'm pretty excited about that. And we'll go from there. Yeah.
That's right.
So, right-handed pitcher Urna is traveling to the West Coast with the Toronto Blue Jays, reported by Arden Zwelling. His major league deal with the club isn't official yet, but could be in time for club's a series with Angels beginning Tuesday. But this was a tweet yesterday. But it has been officially said today that they've both been signed.
Okay, they both passed their physical, then they're all set.
Yeah. Yeah, they both passed their physical. So the moves upon the 2 spots on the 40-man roster, which were filled by new free agent pitcher signing Spencer Turnbull and Jose Urna. Multiple reports from over the weekend indicated the Jays had reached an agreement with both from players from general manager Ross Atkins hinted last week. And it happened. So Turnbull and Urna are joining the Jays on major league deals. Turnbull was plus on sign going into the season after posting a 2.65 ERA in 17 games last year and has been optioned to the FCL Blue Jay roster. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah. 3-Point James, how's it going, Pat and Pops? I'm doing great. Thanks for coming in. We decided to do a little early show today. But yeah, the big announcement, Scherzer's out for 60. Swanson's out for 60 days. But as far as what you guys are saying and what the wonderful world of the internet's saying, Scherzer might be coming back at the end of the month. So we'll see. As long as he's healthy, that's the main thing, right?
That's right. He's having an awful hard time with that thumb.
Yeah, he's having a heck of a time with that thumb. What can you do, Pops?
That's right. You just got to keep moving on and pull them aside. Just keep giving give these players lots of money.
Yeah.
They enjoy coming up playing for the Blue Jays.
Oh, for sure. Show me the money, the Blue Jays says. Or the players
Show me
say
the
to the
money.
Blue Jays. So there's a little concern about Bowden Francis. So I really don't know what's going on with Bowden Francis. He's definitely struggling. Here's a tweet by Zach on the X. Bowden Francis has an xERA of 7.45. They really need Turnbull to get ready sooner than later here because he's just not a major league caliber starter right now. Doesn't go whiffs, doesn't keep the ball on the ground, and gets barreled like crazy. So
yeah, I don't know what's wrong with Francis this year. He did great last year at the end of the season, but he hasn't got his act together yet.
Yeah, he did so well last year. I don't know what happened to him. I mean, he got like he was in the 2 no-hitters last year.
Yep.
And then this year, I think he had a couple no-hitters going into the 5th or 6th. And then I don't know, they're just he holds the record for most home runs this year. He's allowed more home runs than any pitcher in the league right now, Bowden Francis.
Jeez.
I think it's like 8 or 9 or some crazy number.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened when you can't pitch it around the plate. Keep pitching it over the center of the plate, you're going to get burnt no matter who's up there.
So what can they do to him? What's best for him?
Well,
Time? Rest? More rest?
well, I mean, 5 days is not enough.
I guess not.
I mean, you can rest them as long as you want, but if you can't hit the plate, you'll have to send them back to the minors, get some more practice.
Yeah. Yeah, CBR. Yeah, Bowden looks rough. I'm not sure what to do with him at this point. I think he needs rest. Maybe he was playing in the bullpen for a little while. Maybe it's time for him to go back into the bullpen. And this new acquisition of Turnbull and Urna, whatever his name is.
Uriah, yeah.
I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out this day. Maybe
You're
it's,
as bad as I am for names.
I know. But
You're copying me.
But maybe by putting Bowden Francis in the bullpen, give him some time in there, and perhaps bring up Turnbull and Jose as starters. So I don't know. It's still early too. I mean, everybody's having struggles.
I think putting him in the bullpen, give him 1 or 2 innings, I think that's enough for now to get him going, to get his confidence back.
Yeah.
By leaving him in there too long, 4 or 5 innings, that's when he starts struggling at the end there. 4th, 5th inning, he's starting to struggle.
Well, we all know that we all know he's got it in him. We all know that he can pitch 8 or 9 innings and pitch well over 100 pitches in a game. But for some reason he just doesn't have it in him.
Yeah, maybe he's watching the hitters too much.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. Yeah, you're right, 3-Point James. Well, he had the 15 ERA. Well, he played 1 game this year for the New York Mets, so the Mets let him go. So yeah, he's got a 15 ERA against them, and he played 3 innings. But he had 3 Ks. So the 3 innings that he pitched, he got 3K, so he's good for a strikeout in an inning. But as far as 15 runs. So how would that average out? 15, an ERA of 15 over three innings. They would have had to score at least 6 or 7 runs up against them.
Oh, easy.
You know?
Easy. Yeah. Well, he'll have to do better if he wants to stay up in the big leagues.
But the previous year, last year, he played for the Texas Rangers. He was in 33 games. He started 9. He was 5 for 8. His ERA was only 3.8, and he had 70 strikeouts.
Yeah.
So he did good last year.
Yeah.
He did good last year. Yes, he did. He did have a 15 ERA, but he did great last year for Texas. As far as I can see from the stats here, that he did good.
Well, maybe they see something in them that they like.
Yeah.
Couldn't be any worse what they have now.
No. Yeah, Jay's talk, he was okay last year, like a 3.8 ERA. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's what worries me, the ERA. Yeah. Then you look back at Bolden Francis. Bolden Francis carries 7.45. So I don't know.
Yeah, he just fell off the map. He did.
Yeah, he fell off the bandwagon.
Yeah. Well, maybe they should drop him to the bullpen and let him pitch 2 innings just to get his confidence back.
I think there's a lot of players that fell off the a lot of fans that fell off the bandwagon. There's a lot of upset fans right now, eh?
Oh, they were booing them there Sunday. I couldn't believe the fans were screaming at them and booing at the Jays.
And it was only half. It was that bobblehead day.
Yeah. They were booing them and screaming at them. You can hear them in the background and cursing at them.
Yeah, they were getting pretty worked up.
I mean, well, you can't blame them for the money they're paying to go watch.
Yeah.
They pay big money to go and for your team to do better.
Well, yeah, a lot of people. Well, it's just like me and you, Dad. Like if we decided to go watch a game, it's definitely going to cost us a lot of money. Like we're from New Brunswick, so if we drive, it's going to take a day to get there, right?
Yeah.
If we take a plane, it would take
couple hours.
But we have to drive the mountain, wait, fly, get at the Toronto Pearson Airport, get a cab, go to the hotel, get ready.
Yeah. It's a lot of money involved. If you have to do that, the only way you're going to think about it, I'm just going for a vacation and that's it. And don't worry about the Blue Jays.
Well, that's pretty much it. It's the experience too, right? It's the experience you're paying for, and it's family. That's the whole thing about baseball, right? You spend time with your family, you spend time with friends, and then you become friends with other fans of the game.
Yeah.
Just like all you guys out there in the little wonderful world of internet.
Yeah, that's right.
Like 3 Point James, CBR, Michael, Vocal, 3 Point James, Jay Stock. You're all our friends now. Yeah. We're all YouTube friends that watches the Blue Jays, that we want the best for them. So, yeah, we're going to bitch. Yeah, we're going to complain. But it just means that we care, right?
Yeah, that's our nature.
Yeah.
If we weren't normal, we wouldn't be screaming and hollering at a TV.
Exactly. Jay's talk. I don't know what else Snyder can do with the bullpen. They need to win some blowouts. Yes, they need some blowouts because, as you know, a lot of our bullpens are getting gassed. They're all getting gassed out. Yeah. They're all getting overused, like you look at, I feel bad for Jimmy Garcia. Like, he pitched 3 of 4 games, and that last game there that he blew, which wasn't his fault, and I blame it on Snyder, but I also blame it on the running team. But he was gassed when he did you see the video of him sitting there? Yeah, the sweat just pouring right up. He was just so defeated and tired. It looked like he wanted to find a bed somewhere.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to cry or something. He was so disappointed in himself,
Yeah,
and you can't blame him. I mean, the guy tried.
yeah, he definitely tried.
You know,
CBR, do you think Pete Walker is the one making the bullpen choices, then relying it to John Snyder?
I don't think so.
No, I think John Snyder is making the call.
Yeah,
So it's up to Pete Walker. Just let him know. No, he's not ready. Yes, he's ready. Whenever you want him, he's there, ready
No.
for you.
because when Snyder made the call, they had the camera on him, and Pete Walker wasn't around. He was down the other end, and he's the one that walked out
Yeah,
and changed Garcia,
yeah,
and it was too late.
yeah, exactly. Jay's talk. When you're in low-scoring, tight games day after day, your starters aren't going 7 innings. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
All right.
that's what's hurting.
Yeah, definitely hurt. Jays can't keep that up. But we're gonna have a little report on Dalton Varsho. So as you all know, he was injured the other day. So it's just probably old news, but I'll bring it up anyway. Tweet by Arden Zwelling. Blue Jays manager John Snyder says Dalton Varsho potentially could have pushed through his lower back tightness. That would have been yesterday, but club didn't want to risk it so soon after his return from injury. Hope is Varsho will be good to go after Monday's off day. So that was a smart move by the Blue Jays front or management
Yeah, it
crew.
is. Yeah, I think Varsho probably hurt himself when he threw himself toward the wall, or when he hit his back toward the wall. He probably strained a little bit.
That's what I thought. I remember that catch that he did. That was in the second game back, wasn't it? Or third game
Yeah,
back?
it was the second game. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it didn't take much. I mean, he was injured before that, and that don't help.
hmm
But it's good to give him a rest.
Yeah, so I mean, Dalton Varsho is definitely the spark that we needed.
Yeah,
As you know, he came back. He made that amazing catch in the first game. He's played what, 3 games now?
yeah.
Through 3 games.
3 game, 2 home runs.
Yeah. Or did he play 4 games? He did come in the pinch run.
I think they took him out.
He did come in the 4th game for pinch running, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But
What do you think?
he didn't play
What do
yesterday.
you think of taking Anthony out and putting Varsho in his spot?
I think that they might have to do something.
Because Anthony's not doing nothing. And Varsho, look, he only been back 3 games. He got 2 home runs, and he's playing awesome out there. And Anthony been there for over 35 games, and he only got 4 home runs, and he's useless hitting the ball.
I feel that whatever's going on with Tony Taters, he's gonna have to figure it out because we really need that guy. What's his average? You said his average earlier. What was his average?
Well, Marvin Barker was saying it was hitting average 139. 139. I think his regular average is 178.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's for a 44 run hitter. I mean, they're throwing it right down the middle of the plate, and he can't hit it.
Yeah.
And I think they're putting all the pressure on Bo and Garl.
Mm-hmm.
They're pitching Bo and Garl all over the place. They just can't connect. I don't blame them.
Mm-hmm.
Then Anthony comes up, and they put her down the middle of the plate,
Yeah.
and he can't hit it.
No.
So,
It's yeah. Well, if he hits 137, fine. But if he can hit 44 home runs that he did last year, then I'm okay with it. Whatever. But he's got what, 3, 4?
yeah, 4 home runs, I think.
He's got 4 home runs. So he's on goal to hit 20, 25. Oh, and we paid him a lot of money to hit home runs. Not for his average, because we all know that he strikes out a lot and his average sucks. But we paid him a lot of money to get RBIs and homers, and he's not doing it.
Yeah, but the trouble is, I find that Bo and Garrow getting on base quite a bit, and they come on with nobody out, and he can't hit worth of beans. Like last game, he hit three balls to the first baseman.
Yeah.
Even at the first inning where everything screwed up, we were ahead, second and third, nobody out. He hits it to first. And right away, Bo was trying his best to get home, and they caught him.
Yeah, you want to talk about that? I did last time. I didn't really want to talk about it. I was disgusted, but I feel better today, so I can actually talk about that situation. So we're gonna bring up the top, and I want to know how you guys feel about it too. The double play that the Jays, it was 2 out. It was nobody out. It was a man on first. Vladdy was on first. Ball was on third. Tony Taters was at the plate, and what did Tony Taters do? He hit it to first base. So what Jays could have done different? What could the runners could do differently there? What could they have done differently?
To me, it was the coach's fault, not paying attention to what was going on. And Bouchette was too much in a hurry to get home. He wasn't paying attention to where the ball was hit. When they hit the ball to first base and he tagged first base, they were going after Guerrero.
Yeah.
And Bo, bird brain, I call him, he runs home. I mean, the ball traveled faster than the player. They had him. He was halfway home. They got him even before he got home. I mean, to me, that was a stupid play because they should have held Bo at third and tag out Guerrero. That's what he should have done. Then you would have had a guy on third for the next batter. Right away, we lost our main objective is to get Bo home.
Yeah.
And I mean, the next batter could have got a base hit, and Bo would have been there. He could have got home. To me, that was an error mistake by the coach and Bo. It wasn't. To me, that wasn't the play at all.
Yeah, that's another discussion, communication that the Jays are lacking. There's so many different scenarios that could happen in that situation. You know, fly out goes out in the field, right? And when it goes into the right, center, left field, if it hits into the left, right, depending who's catching it, what kind of an arm does he have? Like Quan has a wicked arm. Yeah. Depending how far it out, there's all different type of scenarios. But these guys been playing for a long time. Yeah. And then you got the infield hits, Where's the ball going to hit? Is it going to hit into what if it hits in the third? Shortstop, second base, first, right? I mean, there's only a handful of plays there you can think about. There's like 10 I can think. So if the ball hits to third, right, the ball is going to third. So right off the bat, I'd be running ball. You know? Yeah. At that point, they'd be going after a double play. They'd be going, if it hits to third, they'd be going to second to first.
Exactly.
Same as a shortstop. If the ball gets hit to shortstop, Bo would be running home. So it'd be second and first. Yeah. If it hits to the second base, same thing. Bo would be running home. Second to first. But since the ball was hit to first base and it was close, Bo had no chance of running home.
No chance in heck.
No chance.
No.
So that was the only scenario that didn't work out for. It was the worst case scenario that you can get into with a man on first, man on third, grounder to first base. Bo was stuck there, and he thought that's the thing with Bo. He stayed out there. He was out in no man's land. Yeah, thinking what he was going to do, and then he kind of said, "I'm going." And then
but that's why you got a coach on third base to tell him what to do.
Yes, you're right.
Maybe he wasn't listening to the coach, or the coach never knew. He didn't have an idea what to do. To me, I blame the coach on third to got a coach out there. When you're running around the base, the coach tell you to go home or not. You know, he's the one that decides where you go, not the player, because he's the one that's supposed to have the most experience
Well, you know
to
what?
tell the player what to do.
You're totally right. It's up to the third baseman to tell you, because that's his job.
Yeah,
The third baseman's job is to do what's best for the player of his ability.
yeah,
So, I mean, if you had, like, for an example, if you had Captain Kirk at third base, you think he'd be doing what Bo did?
no way.
Because the third baseman knows Kirk can't run. So you better you better leave your arse on third base, right?
Yeah,
So it's up to the third baseman to tell all the players, because they should know. There's only a handful of players on that team. There's what, 9, 13, 14, 15 runners, 15 batters.
yeah,
You should have a staff for every player. That's your job. They play with them every day. They should know these things.
yeah. They should know how they run. And
I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking out of my head. I could be wrong, but it's a little bit of common sense. If a ball gets hit the first, get the hell back.
yeah, well, yeah, because
It could have been a triple play.
yeah,
That's the
because
worst thing.
the ball's coming home.
That could have been a disaster. That could have been a triple play right off the bat.
Yeah, if Guerrero wouldn't have stopped, it would have been a triple play.
The first baseman could have tagged him out
Yeah,
and then tag out at first and then throw it home and get ball. It could have been a triple play.
yeah, just by one stupid play.
Yeah.
You know, but I blame the third baseman coach for that, because he's the one that's supposed to have the most experience. You know, to tell the guy go or don't go.
I think this whole team has communication problems. I think there's just. I think they're not talking. There's a lack. I think there's a lack of communication,
Yeah.
and nobody's taking charge.
Well, even Guerrero, when he hits a fly ball out in the field, I mean, that ball gets up there so fast.
Yeah.
That first baseman coach should be telling Guerrero if he should run to second or not. He should be waving him, not just stand there and look at him. When Guerrero's coming to first,
You're talking about that error that Vladdy made the other day. He should have stayed. He hit, like you said, he hit that ball so hard. He should have stayed at first, but he didn't. He ran on the base and he kept running.
Yeah, because the coach at first base knew where that ball hit.
Yeah.
That ball hit the fence before Guerrero got to first base, and that coach should have stopped him. But you can't stop Guerrero once he starts moving. But that's his job. He gets paid for that. Guerrero, stop.
Yeah.
No, because he hits that ball so hard and it comes in so fast that there's no way he could make that.
Yeah. All right, so we can talk about we can talk about it a little bit later, but there's a few other things I want to break up. So as you know, the Blue Jays are falling. They're 2 games they're 2 games after 5. They're 2 games under 500. They're 3 games back. So the good thing about the American League East, everybody's struggling.
Yeah.
I mean, Boston's 500. The Yankees, they're only 4 games over 500. The Rays are 2 games under 500, same as us.
Yeah.
And Orioles, I don't know what's going on with the Baltimore Orioles, but they're shitting the bed over there. They're 7 games under. They're falling apart.
Yeah.
It's like ever since they lost Corbin Burns and Tony Taters, they just collapsed.
Yeah.
But overall, we're still, it's going to be a tight division right to the end. Jay's going to have to figure it out. Jays are going to have to get another bat. But we're going to touch on a few other things, some stats, some team stats, some player stats, and some pitching stats. So as far as hitting side of thing, we average, our average is 238. That's our average. As far as hitting, we have an average of 238, and we're 20th in the league.
Yeah.
It's not the greatest, but it's still a decent average. But what's not decent is we have 23 home runs for the season. We've played 34 games so far this year. We played 34 games this year, and we have only 23 home runs. You know how many the Kansas City Royals, they were in 30th, and we were in 29th. You know how many home runs they hit yesterday?
I bet you it was a whack of them.
Guess how many home runs they hit yesterday?
Don't know, to be honest.
Seven. Kansas City hit 7 home runs. So we are the Lone Ranger at the bottom of the cellar. We are 30th. There's only 30 teams in the league, boys. We are 30th in home runs at 23. That is a friggin' disgrace. So you know what that means? Yes, we have a decent average of 238, but we're not getting it. We are getting on base, but we're not bringing them home. And what's worse is we're not getting home runs. We're 30th. Not only that, you're thinking how many RBIs do we have in a run of a year? We have 115th. We are ranked 26.
Yeah.
26 in the league for RBIs. With runners batted in. That's what RBI means. Runners batted in, and we got nothing.
That's terrible.
As far as hits, 268 hits. We're 21st. So that's it's not great, but it's not good. It's not terrible and it's not bad.
Yeah.
Stolen bases, where we have 24. We're 18th. So what really stands out to me is the home runs and runners left on base. So it's terrible.
Well, what stands out to me is you got 5 players up there that's letting the team down. They're just terrible. It's the bottom half that's doing all the work to me. You take Lucas and the rest of them. They're the one that's bringing in the runs in.
Yeah.
Bo and Garrow and Anthony and Springer, they're not helping at all. Even if they're on the base, they can't do anything.
No, I know.
You know, but they're going to have to change the lineup. As far as I'm concerned, I would take Anthony up and I would put him behind Jimenez, next spot. Put Barsol maybe up in his place.
No, what I would do, I don't agree with you there, Dad. I would not put him in the spot. I would leave Andres Jimenez right at the 9th spot. He seems to be doing really well there. I think he's doing good there. But as far as Santander, when Varsho gets back, I think he should be right behind Vladdy.
Yeah, so would I.
But that's not going to happen because they want to keep them two together.
What's the use?
They've said that. I don't know, but that's what they said. They're going to keep them two together. They're not going to split them apart.
If they keep it up, they're not going to make the playoffs. They're not going to win any more games.
Do you actually think they're going to make the playoffs this year?
If they change the lineup, they would. We're getting hits like crazy. Runners are on base. In 2 games, we had over 18 runners on base. 18. That's incredible. You think about it. 18 runners on base in 2 games. Anybody would want that stat. We want that record.
Yeah, I know.
But they're not hitting.
Yeah. So now
if they would hit.
Yeah, if we would hit, we would do better. But right now, everything is getting magnified. So every little thing that gets magnified when you're not scoring and when the Blue Jays hover around 500, every game feels bigger. That's the position they've put themselves in. So it was the Blue Jays, the whole game. That's the reason why everybody's magnified everything is because we know they have a team to win. We know that they can hit. We know that they can pitch. It's not like we don't think they can. We know they can, but they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And so when you're under 500, of course, everything's going to get magnified. Everybody broadcasters, commentators, fans at the ballpark, everybody, they're all going to ask questions. They're trying to figure out what to do with this team. But right now, do you know what to do with this team? Because I don't.
Well, to me, what I would have done in that first inning there, the last game we had runner on first and third and nobody out. I would have got Anthony to bunt. I know it sounds strange, but if he can't hit, I mean, change your ways, do something different. The man's terrible out there. He can't hit the ball. He can't see it. I mean, you got to do something different. I mean, at least you get the guy home from third. Because the way they're playing now, you could send them down there and they'll probably lose games down in the minors. The minors will probably beat them up.
Yeah.
The way they're playing.
I know. Unless I got Blair and Barker on right now. You know what they're bitching about?
Yeah.
Bo should be hitting at least 20 home runs. And can you see Bo hitting 20 home runs this year?
He only got one in 34 games. I can't see that.
Well, the biggest issue is we're not producing. We're not producing enough runs. We're definitely getting runners on base, but it's not enough. We need to do better. And it's so everything's going to get magnified, and I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. It's not up to me.
No, it's not up to me either, but I know what I would do.
It's up to me and you, Dad, to get on this show whenever we can to talk about it, because we got to talk about it to get our frustrations out, because as fans, we're getting pretty worked up.
Well, we want the best for the team, but when it's not working, you got to change your routine.
Yeah.
You got to change your attitude out there. The coach got to change his ways. Everybody has to change. Mm-hmm. The hitting coach has to change.
It hasn't.
Pitching coach has to change.
It hasn't changed for how many years now?
Well,
I don't know.
They got the wrong management in there. Then the owner don't know how to operate a team.
Yeah.
I mean, why bring all these players $100 million when they can't produce?
And the only thing that we're after right now is pitching.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
we got Delbert, Pops, McGraw fan page. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
How we doing today, guys? Oh, we're doing good here. Thanks for asking. We're just venting.
Yeah. Lots of venting today.
Today's a venting day. It's an off day for the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays will be playing tomorrow night against the Los Angeles Angels. They are 13-20 for this season. So there's no reason why the Jays cannot go in there and sweep these guys.
Yeah.
We should be going in, taking advantage of these the teams that struggle. They're way under 500. So there's no reason why we can't go there.
Yeah.
And clean it, sweep, take our brooms out and sweep. And that's what we need to do when we get to the Angels. And then after that, we're going to be playing against the Seattle Mariners. And that's going to be another tough series.
Yeah. Well, to me, they could beat any team there if they only start changing the players around. We got one default in the group. To me, Anthony's a default. And he's supposed to be there to backing up Guerrero. He's supposed to be the thumper.
Yeah.
He's the one that's supposed to be helping the team. And I don't know what happened. He left it wherever he was last year. He must have left it there because he's not helping.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, Pops. It's disappointing, isn't it?
It is, especially everybody got high hopes this year. When they brought these players in, we thought we were doing good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look too good now.
Does not look too good. Delbert Pops McGraw fan page. I agree. A series win against the Angels is a must. A sweep would be great.
Yeah.
Yes. Definitely.
They're going to have to change their attitudes.
Yeah.
But that's the way she goes on the Maritime.
Yeah, that's how she goes. I'll see if Jay's Talk. Jay's Talk, are you still in here? See if I can bring Jay's Talk in here. See if he wants to join in the conversation.
Yeah.
Be good to hear from him, eh?
Yeah, he probably know what to do with the team.
I don't know.
He'll probably trade everybody.
Yeah, you're all getting fired.
Everybody getting fired.
Yeah.
Anybody's making over 12 million, you got to go.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll see if he's in. Yep, he's in. Did you want to come on, Jay's Talk? I'll see if I can get Jay's Talk in here.
Yeah.
Give me a minute here. I'll give you a call. How's that? You want to hear him, Dad?
Sure.
All right. Get my headphones off here. All right, you still there?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Give him a call. Give me 1 sec, folks. Gonna call my good friend. Get him set up here. I imagine he's got lots to say. Hey, Pops.
Oh, I imagine. He's probably venting by himself.
Yeah. All right. Pretty sure he's here. Oh, Jays went. No, Jays did not win. Where is that? There. Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna give him a call right now, boys. So I'm going to bring in Leighton's story. He is from Jay's Talk. See if he'll answer here.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. Yourself?
Yeah, been better on the baseball front, that's for sure.
Definitely. Can you hear him, Pops?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Can you hear Pops, Leighton?
Yeah, I can hear him.
All right, very best. So, so I wanted to get you in here earlier, but all this technical internet stuff is not working out for me, but I'm doing what I can. But thanks for coming on. So I got Jay's Talk podcast YouTube channel, Jay's Talk. If you guys haven't done it already, give him a follow. He's got some great stuff, great information over there. So I got him on the phone here, and he's going to share his thoughts. So what do you want to talk about, my friend? What do you want to talk about since we got you on here?
The Jays have done a miraculous job at being just good enough to lose. It's, it's been so frustrating because it's been just one thing. I'd almost prefer they got blown out 10-0 in a game here and there, or win it 10-0. But instead, every game's a 1-run game, a 2-run game. And as we've seen, it's catching up with the bullpen. It's super frustrating to watch. Just a lot of issues right now. And it's always just enough to lose it.
Yeah, ask him what he thinks what we can do with the Blue Jays.
He can hear you, Dad. You just talk to him normal.
Okay. Nathan, what can we do with the Blue Jays? You got any suggestions?
I think the big one is just figuring out a way to get the rotation settled, first of all, on the pitching side of things, get some more innings out of the starters, having, that Max Scherzer spot still hasn't been solidified. So when you have that spot going to the Easton Lucas and the Lowers and they're just not getting enough innings. And then when Bowden Francis doesn't get enough innings pitched, it's just putting too much stress on that bullpen on the pitching side. And then on the hitting side, just got to find a way to get the home run ball going.
Yeah. But yeah, like our starting pitcher has definitely, they've been gassed. Our bullpen's been gassed. It's nice to see that the Jays front office are still looking for arms. It'd be nice if they were looking for bats. But at the moment, the reason why we need arms is because the bats are sleeping. They haven't awakened yet. But yeah, it definitely puts a lot of stress on the front of the starting rotation, puts a lot of stress in the bullpen. So with these two acquisition of the Jays, Spencer Turnbull and Jose Rihanna, I think I pronounced that right. How do you feel about the new recruits for the Jays?
Yeah, for me, Turnbull is actually an exciting one. He's a good pitcher. You see his stats there last year with the Phillies. He can start and relieve, and actually, that's a good thing about both these guys is they do have that versatility. So even if we do get a Scherzer back, or if Bowden Francis figures it out, they can be long men that can give you 2 or 3 innings out of the pen. Yeah. So I really like that they've addressed that right away here. I don't know how bad the news is going to end up being for Scherzer and Swanson. I don't know if they have more information and they realize they're going to be out for a longer time than we're aware of. But either way, pitching depth, you need it every year. And Urania is about, he's more of a dart throw for me. He's been good, but he's also been very bad.
Yeah.
Whereas Turnbull, I think, is the guy that, whether it's in the bullpen or the rotation, I expect more out of him than I do out of Jose Urania.
Yeah, Urana. How do you pronounce it again? Urana?
I think it's Urania.
Urania. Yeah. Okay, he must be Dominican or something. But yeah, he's a veteran. He's been in the league for 14 years. As far as Turnbull, he's still new to the league. Well, I'm not going to say new. He's 6 years now. He had a good season last year, so. But he hasn't played a whole lot, as I can tell, the last couple of years. Maybe because that's another thing that I didn't find out until late, that he was hurt last year. He had a strain on his shoulder, was it, or his elbow? So they got him down Florida, the FCL Blue Jays League. Do you think that's going to interfere with his rehab? Do you think he's going to get back to where he was last year? Or?
I know that he had done some throwing for teams a little while ago. I don't know whether that was as a bullpen arm or as a starter. I would think if they were signing him as a starter, he's shown that he's good to go, at least 50 pitches or something like that. Just because he hasn't been signed, I'm sure he's still somewhat stretched out. Yeah. But yeah, starting him off in Florida where they can use the complex and get all of his metrics and see all of his different pitches and everything like that and get data on them all makes a lot of sense. But yeah, hopefully within a month we see him in the majors. I would hope that he's at least that close.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a question for you, Leighton. What do you think of moving Anthony Santar down to the 7th place and putting somebody else in his place? You think that helped the team or leave him where he is?
I can't see them actually doing that. The only move I could really see with him would be move him down to maybe 4 or 5 and just put, say, a Varsho and a Springer in front of him. Maybe just to break it up, you go Bo, Vlad, Springer, Santander, or Varsho, just to have a little bit of a wrinkle. But I definitely don't see them dropping him down that far. Whether or not he deserves it, yeah, he hasn't been hitting well at all. But I think they'll keep him somewhere in that 3, 4, 5 range.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think that'd be a better option. Probably take more stress off of him.
Yeah, he's a very streaky hitter. He's never going to hit for the highest average. And, we're seeing the bad side of that right now is we want to sign these power bats that aren't the greatest at on base. And when they're hitting the home runs, it's fantastic. When they're not hitting the home runs, this is what it looks like. So just have to hope that he snaps out of it. Whether that is, put a Springer up in front of him just to give him something different. That could happen. But yeah, I don't see them dropping him down to 7, 8, 9 in the order.
Yeah, that's just Pop Sock talking foolish, Dad. Come on now. They're not going to put him in the A spot. They're especially not going to let him play the small game and bunt. Like, come on. That's another. I think I got a question for you, Leighton. Dad's always about the small game and button. How do you feel about the small game and getting the big guys the bunt, like Vladdy? I can see Bo, but would you have Vladdy and Tony Tater's bunt for what they can hit for power?
No, the only guys I'm
Exactly.
bunting are the Straws, Clements, maybe a Will Wagner. The only time it would ever make sense is if you have a lefty power bat and, they do the big shift where the entire left side is wide open. You see like a Rafael Devers do that from time to time, or a guy like of that stature.
Yeah.
Maybe you lay one down the third baseline because it's wide open. But just in the regular flow of the game, no, I would definitely not be asking Vlad or Santander to bunt.
Yeah. Well, there you go, Pops. 2-1-1. You're losing.
Well, I tried.
You did try, but that's okay. But really, it gets to the point where desperate time comes desperate measures, but we can't get desperate and force these guys to do what they're not used to doing. For one, look what happened to the player yesterday. I forget what his name was, Piaco or something. He tried to bunt 3 times. He ended up striking out from his bunt attempt. But you can't really force guys to do things that they're not used to doing. Right?
Yeah, but he was a rookie, this lad. The guy that got him to bunt was a rookie, so he didn't have a clue what he was doing. Yeah. These guys got about 10, 15 years in, and you should be able to know how to bunt. Every common player, as far as I'm concerned, making over $20 million a year, should know how to bunt.
Yeah, every player should be able to bunt. Yes, I agree with you. So as far as the pitching, I noticed Josh Walker has been optioned down to AAA. How do you feel about Josh Walker setting down? I thought he did all right. Did you, Leighton, or was it a right move?
I think it's both. He did good. He'll come back up some point in the year, but we've got Fluharty and Little as our lefties, and Urania is going to take his spot, and he can give you more innings. And right now, I think that's more valuable, is having a fresh arm that can give you 3 or 4 innings in a stint.
Yeah.
Just given the state of the bullpen right now. So, yeah, he's only optioned. He's not been DFA'd or anything like that. So he'll go down for a while, and then the next injury or the next opportunity, I think he did well enough to earn a call back up later on.
Yeah, I'm not, it's not a shocker to see him going down because, he has struggled. Players like Mason Fluharty, now he has definitely earned his spot to stay. He has been in a lot of high leverage situations where the pitching the manager has no problem putting him in. I love what he's doing. I think he's doing great this year, and he's a rookie, isn't he, Mason Fluharty?
Yeah, he's a rookie. I feel somewhat validated in my opinion of him because I've been arguing with people about him all year long, and I think it's because he doesn't throw that hard that people have been sleeping on him.
Yeah.
Because, people have been complaining, we talk about overusing the high leverage guys, but then we also complain every time they've gone to a Chad Green or a Fluharty or a Little, in 7th inning, 8th inning time. But I think Fluharty's let up, 1 hit in the last 10 or 12 innings, something like that. He's on quite a streak here I don't think he's allowed to hit to a right-handed bat yet, and he's hardly let up any hits at all this year. So, he's been phenomenal.
Yeah, he's definitely holding his own. And it's nice to see that. I just hope the Jays don't wear him out either. But these two, who else is doing great this year? Chad Green, he's doing all right. Jimmy Garcia, I mean, he's been doing his thing all year. And for what the manager done to him, I'm pissed off. Like he's one of her he's one, if not one of her best relievers in the bullpen right now, and he gassed him right out. What he did and left him out there, bases loaded, and with a hot hitter coming up to the plate that already hit a home run in that game, Daniel Schienemann, I think his name was. He should have took him out. I would have been content bringing Rodriguez out. And the worst thing about it is he hit a grand slam, and then they brought Rodriguez in, and he struck him out. So it's just another poke in the gut, like I got you again. Yeah. How did you feel about the manager's call on that play with Jimmy Garcia?
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of leaving him in, but I wasn't as fired up as some other people were, just because I don't trust Uriel in that position either. He hasn't, obviously in hindsight for sure, he came in and struck a guy out, but he also came in with the bases empty, which is quite a bit different than bases loaded 2 out. So he had a much less stressful situation to come into. But Wyrod, how many times have we seen him come in and walk the first batter he faces or hit the guy or something like that? I would have liked to see him go to the pen, but I also was not confident in Wyrod getting that out with the bases loaded either.
Yeah, it was kind of a sticky situation because you had Jimmy gas straight out, and then you have unreliable Mr. I'm going to hit you in the head or throw behind you 4 feet. It was a tough call, but it just really comes back down to the hitters. The hitters not doing their thing. They're not getting runs, so it's going to put a lot of pressure on the bullpen, and that's when we get in these situations where we don't have no choice, and that was probably the choice where he had to leave him out, but really,
that's just it is, right? You had 2 less than ideal choices there. It's either a tired Jimmy or Wyrod, where you just, you have no idea what you're going to get. But that's just the result of how tired the bullpen as a whole is and the lack of scoring runs. So, yeah, it was a tough call there for Schneider. He probably made the wrong choice, but ultimately we need to figure out how to score some runs and blow some of these games open so we're not having to rely on these guys day after day after day. That's the underlying issue.
Yeah, that's the main question there. What do you do?
What do you do, Pops? What would you do? You're a veteran to the game.
I bench half of them. I would change the lineup around. You said, I would take Anthony, and Leighton has a good point. I would put Springer in his place and Barshaw and then Anthony. That's what I would do. Because the first 2 hitters, they're doing their best. The pitchers are going after them. It's the third guy he's not producing. You got to get somebody. Springer would be a good guy behind Guerrero. Because Springer getting a lot of nice hits at times. He doesn't hit all the time, but at least you can depend on him.
So why couldn't you switch Vladdy and Tony Taters around? Go one.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Go Bo, Taters, and Vlad, and then Springer, then Barshaw. I really don't know, boys. I don't know, but something's got to give here.
It doesn't have to be a huge move, and George is looking really good in the middle of the order, so I don't like moving him up to leadoff like a lot of people have been asking for, just because you don't really want to rock the boat with where guys are comfortable, right?
I agree with you 100%.
Exactly.
So
I leave George right where he is.
Up in front of Taters and then just swap the 2 or something like that, just to see if that sparks anything. But ultimately, you need Taters to be your cleanup hitter. If we're going to be successful this year, he's got to get it going.
Yeah. So pretty much what you're saying is, our hands are tied. We got to leave him there. We got to leave him. We have to leave him there. But yeah, I like Ball where he is. I like Springer where he is, and I actually like Andres Gimenez where he is. How do you feel him being in the 9th spot? He seems to look very comfortable in that spot.
Yeah, I think he looks great there. It's wherever the guys are producing is where I'd like to leave them. And he's kind of a table setter, almost like a leadoff hitter, where you're still getting Bo and Vladdy the most at-bats in the game, but Jimenez is coming up in front of them to get on base, steal some bases. He scores. Bo and Vladdy hit a lot of singles and doubles, and Jimenez is capable of scoring from first base in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
So I think he's a good fit getting on base in front of those guys that are gap hitters.
Yeah, I want to bring up you were I seen in the comments there you were bringing up CBR said Johnny farted again.
Yeah.
Holy geez, boys, settle down there in the comment area. Anyway. I want to get back to what you were saying earlier in the comment, not when you're online. You were mentioning about I remain so confused about these. Can you explain what you were talking about there?
Yeah, so when I was doing my game recap, I went back to look at the box score, and just in my head, I was getting ready to rant about this team can't hit with runners in scoring position. We suck. We leave everybody on base. And then I checked the stats, and we were 4 of 11. So we were over, a 333 batting average. We left 9 on base. Yeah. And then I looked at Cleveland stats, and they were 3 for 10, so like a lower average, and they left 10 on base. And just watching the game, that blew me away because I could have swore we were, 1 for 15, and they were 8 for 9.
Yeah, I thought for sure we had more on than that.
Yeah, it felt so much worse watching the game. And then when I looked at the stats, and it didn't back up what my eye test was.
Because I know it seemed like every inning we had 2 runners on base. It seemed.
Yeah.
Well, and what we did was we had a lot of singles with guys on second, but they were unable to score on it. Like I know Bo had a liner to right field, but it was hit hard and it was right directly at the right fielder. So I can't remember who was standing on second, but they were unable to score on it. So we just had a weird combination of getting hits with runners in scoring position without actually scoring anybody.
Yeah. So the biggest question is, what's the biggest issue with this ball team? Is it communication? Is it the chemistry? Is it the coach? Is it just not being clutch? Is it just something they're just slow starters? Like what the hell is it with this team? I just don't get it. It's frustrating to watch these guys at times.
Yeah, I don't know how to split that, honestly. It's the roster. The home run ball, in short, is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
It's we don't hit enough and we let up way too many. That's like the clear thing that you can identify as a problem. Yeah. Now, the tricky part is, why is that the case? Do we just not have good enough players? If that's the case, it's on Atkins for assembling the roster.
Yeah.
If it's that all of the players just forget how to hit once they become Blue Jays, then that's something in, the coaching staff, in the behind the scenes, not just John Schneider, but like the hitting room. They have a lot of people behind the scenes working on these things, the game plans and all that. So, yeah, it's trying to identify, is it a personnel issue or is it something in the preparation?
Yeah. All right, I got a question in the comment area from Johnny 4. He says, who do you think will replace Max Scherzer? Do we make a move at the trade? Who wants to take that? Go ahead, Leighton, since you're on. You might as well take her, buddy.
Okay. In the near term, I would hope that it's Turnbull. I hope that, we can get him back within the next couple times through the rotation. And then after the trade deadline, a name that we've not been talking about enough, I think, is Alek Manoah. Yeah. I'm hoping that we get a bright light out of him to kind of just his mentality and everything on the mound, the quote unquote dog that he brings, the competitive nature he brings. I'm really hoping he comes back looking good. But otherwise, I think that the Padres are a team we might have to go after if they somehow fall out of it, because they've got some rental pitchers.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dad.
Sorry. Yeah, I think, like you say, Turnbull will be the one to set your mind on. Because the way Scherzer's acting up, I don't think he'll be back the rest of the year. Because that thumb is not going to go away. It's there and it's going to be there forever. And I think you can't trade him because nobody wants him because he got an injury. And you'll just have to put him aside for now.
And he's also a 40-year-old plus man. And yes, he's a Hall of Famer. And yes, he has over, 33,000 strikeouts. He has World Series. I mean, yes, we're paying him $50 million. But at the end of the day, it sounds like we're just paying for experience, for his intelligence to help and build the younger pitchers that are coming up. But at the same time, we have a lot of veterans too, a lot of our starting pitchers. But hopefully, maybe he can help out Bolden Francis and a lot of these other guys to kind of help him out. So I have mixed emotions about Max Scherzer. But who's going to take his spot? I hope Alek Manoah comes back like as he did back in 2022. If not, then it's possible, like what you said, like Leighton, maybe there's some rentals from the Padres or possible trade for someone. And really comes down to who we going to trade, who we going to give up. I know we have a lot of young guys, young superstars coming up that we can possibly trade. But I don't know. We're in a tough situation here. Hopefully, the Jays will definitely turn things around. They're playing tomorrow night against the Angels. That's a series they should win. This is a series they should sweep. No problem. Do you know much about the Angels and how well they're doing? Because as far as I can see, they're 13-20 for the year. And I know Trout, if he can stay healthy, he's going to be a wrecking ball to pitch against.
Yeah, I know he's been injured, and obviously they've tailed off. They had a nice start to the year, and now they've just been awful. They only have the two half-decent pitchers, and unfortunately, we are facing both of them. That's Kikuchi. I can't think of the other lefty's name there. Alexander, maybe? Drawing a blank on his name. But, yeah, they've only got two half-decent pitchers, and we drew into both of them, so that kind of sucks. But
we seem to be doing that all year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had that Paris, I think his name is, the young guy there that came up hitting all the home runs, but he's cooled off. The Trout injury, I think Neto is their only half-decent player at this point that's, consistently good.
Are you saying that Mike Trout is hurt again?
Yeah, he's been dealing with some injuries again this year.
Oh, my God, man. I feel so bad for that man.
Yeah.
Like, he probably could have been the best of all time. That's just how good he is. And for him to go out the way he's, like, I know he had back surgeries and all these other issues, but he's a friggin' beast, that guy. And if he could have stayed healthy with the Angels, with Shohei Ohtani, they probably could have won a few games in the postseason, if not the World Series. But too bad for that guy.
Yeah.
Any last say before we close you out here, buddy?
Just don't give up on the Jays yet. The AL East is the most mediocre division in baseball. So if they get on a run, we can still do good things. But yeah, it has props to everybody who's still watching all these games, because they have not been the easiest baseball games to watch.
I know there's a lot of fans that have been dropping off. I noticed. Just because I was at the dentist today, and I got a clean bill of sale, boys. Clean bill of health. I have no cavities. It has been 3 years, and the one that with the dentist that was cleaning my teeth, she's originally from Toronto, and her husband's a big fan of Toronto, and they moved here a couple years ago. They come here to retire, and they're huge Toronto Blue Jays fans, and they seen my hat, and I was like, "Go Jays!" And she's saying, "Yeah, I know the Jays suck right now, so I'm not even watching it." So it just proves it right there. There's a lot of fans that are dropping off. They don't want to watch the Jays. But as myself and Pops and yourself, Leighton, we keep watching. We're going to keep supporting the Jays, even if they're down and out and troubled times. But we're going to keep watching them because we love watching baseball through bad times and good times. And whenever the Jays start doing good, we'll get all the bandwagoners back on the wagon again, and everybody be happy again. Everybody be big smiles again.
Everybody have a great time.
Yeah.
Well, and worst case scenario, Atkins gets fired. They do a big teardown at the deadline, have to rebuild around Vladdy going forward. And that gives you a lot of content there with all the trade deadline, acquisitions and all that stuff. So either way, there will be stuff to talk about. It's just whether or not it's going to be good or bad.
We don't want to go through that again, man. We don't want to go through that.
No, we only need a little bit of luck on our way. We'll do fine.
Yeah. But anyway, but thanks for coming in, Leighton Story. So I got Leighton Story from Jay's Talk Podcast YouTube channel. Go check him out. He's got some great stuff over there. Thanks for coming in, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on, guys.
No problem. Until next time, let's go Jays.
Let's go Jays.
Yeah, go Jays, go.
Right on, brother. Well, we'll catch you soon, and we'll probably give you a call next week or whenever it's good for you.
All right, sounds good.
All right, have a good day, man.
Okay, you too.
Bye. All right, so I'm gonna get myself home. So what do you think, Dad?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Nice to have somebody different opinion.
Yes.
It's good to have somebody else's opinion. That was good.
Yeah, because it hasn't been great of late. So to hear to hear from somebody else perspective of things is great. But yeah, he's definitely got some great stuff. He's very knowledgeable about stuff. But yeah.
No, I like that. I like that idea of moving Springer, taking Anthony out, putting Springer in his place, and moving Anthony down one. I think that will boost the team up.
Yeah.
'Cause Springer, he's been hot lately.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was great to have Jay's talking. Swing over to his area and give him a like and subscribe. He's got some good stuff over there. But yeah, so discussion today was the roster moves. So as you know by now, if you have been watching since the beginning of the show, we've signed a couple right-handed pitchers. Spencer Turnbull, we're all pretty excited about him. Jose Urena. I don't know, Pops. I can't figure it out.
That's a song. Urena. That's a song.
That's it? That's all you know?
That's all I know.
Oh, come on. You must know more than that.
No.
Urena.
Yeah, that's a song. That's a nice song.
Yeah. But yeah, so we ended up signing those two pitchers. Max Scherzer and Eric Swanson, the right-handed pitchers for the Blue Jays. They have been transferred to the 60-day IL list. And as far as my understanding, as a few of you have said already, Max Scherzer could possibly come back at the end of the month, which would be a good, but as you said earlier, Dad, his thumb is something that's not going to go away. It's going to be there for a very long time.
Yeah.
Even with a cortisone shot only lasts for so long.
Yeah, your thumb is a very sensitive place to have an injury. I think that's the worst place to have an injury because you can't really go in and operate on it or do anything. You just have to let it heal on its own, and once you injure it, it'll never come back. Just like a shoulder. You injure your shoulder, even today, it's still there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but no, it's hopefully, so the Jays will be playing tomorrow night against the Angels. But there's, like I said earlier, there's no reason why we cannot win that game. It's a new start, new day. I think all Jays fans are frustrated. They're probably going to turn it off. They're probably just going to concentrate on the Toronto Maple Leafs this series. You know. But there's a lot of fans that are not watching anymore. But that's okay. We'll keep watching. We'll keep cheering the Jays on, eh?
Yeah, we'll cheer on everybody. No matter if you win or lose.
Yeah.
At least you're having fun watching them.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, that's all we wanted to talk about today. Thank you all for coming in here to East Coast Blue Jays. It's been a great show, great day show. May 5th, Monday, it's 5:22. We've been on for over an hour and a half there now. It's been great. It's been swell. Anything else you want to bring in here before we close it out, Pops? Because I know you got lots to say.
No, I just hope everybody has a great day and just keep your finger crossed for the Blue Jays. They'll come out of her. They're just having a hard time. Once they get their act together, we'll be all right.
We'll be all right. Just like that song, eh? How's that song go?
Which song's that?
We'll make it up. We'll be all right. We'll be okay.
We'll be all right today.
We'll come to Angels and win. Sweep the Angels away. Yeah, and we'll be all right. We'll be one game over 500. Let's go.
Let's go, Jays.
Do you have a joke before we head out, or story time?
Yeah,
I think they're waiting for it, Dad. They're waiting for a joke or a story before we head out.
Well, I got a joke here.
Okay, you go right ahead.
Why can't you play hockey with pigs? Why can't you play hockey with pigs?
Why can't you play hockey with pigs?
Yes.
Any hints?
you're on the ice with them. You want to know what the
I don't
answer
know.
is?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know.
They always hog the puck.
Of course, yes.
You got it. Yeah.
Yes.
They
You
always
know,
hog the puck.
you know what? That was good. That was good.
I'll
Hog
tell
the
you.
puck.
I'll tell you a little story. You
All
got
right.
time.
I got time. I got all day, Dad.
This is when I got.
Well, it is supper time, so go on.
Yeah. I'll give you a couple of minutes. When I got my driver license,
Yes.
I was living down here in Millerton after I had my accident. I saved all my money and I bought a car. I went down Casey Tires. There used to be a car dealer. Bought a car for $1,200.
Yeah.
61 Comet. And I never had no driver license, so I called Fredericton and wanted to get my driver license. So I got my buddy and we drove up that night, stay overnight. And the cop woke us up 7 o'clock in the morning, told us to get out of the parking lot. We went to the driving test. I rented a taxi, a brand new big Mercury taxi come up. I got in, he showed me where everything was. The inspector walked around and said, "We can't drive you in this car. You got no backup lights." So I had to cancel my appointment down. I went back home again. A month later, I made another appointment. We went up, and on the way up, we got to Boys Town. It started to rain, and the operator turned the wipers on. No wipers. The wiper wasn't working. So I had to crawl underneath the dash and unhook the brackets. Then you could do that and operate the bracket by hand
Oh my God.
until we got to Fredericton.
So you really are going like this?
Yeah, I was operating by hand. When we got to Fredericton, it stopped raining. So we got to the driver place and another taxi come along, a little newer one, a big Mercury, was twice as big as the car I had. You know how big those Mercuries are.
Yeah.
And I went on the driving test and driving down the road, that some people walked up in front of me. So I blew the horn at them just to tell them, get out of the road, I'm coming through. And the inspector said, "You're not supposed to do that." He said, "You could hit them. They could stop in the road. You could hit them." I thought to myself, I lost my test already. So I go back to the driver inspection there, and he said, "Okay." He said, "I finished parallel parking, and yeah, you got your license. Go ahead."
Oh yeah. Oh, there you
So
go.
there we go.
You passed with flying colors.
Flying colors. Yeah,
So
that was
so honking at the pedestrians didn't hurt you any.
no. It didn't hurt me at all. He just explained it to me. He said, "Don't do that, because they'll stop in the middle of the road, and you could hit them."
Well, you kind of shocked them, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
that's how I got my driver license.
All right. Well, good for you, Dad.
Yeah.
Very done. Well, thank you all. Thanks for the story, Pops. That's great. But yeah, thank you all for coming in to East Coast Blue Jays. I'm your host, Patrick McGraw, and I got Delbert Pops. How he got his driver's license
Yeah.
from an old big Mercury, old
big.
beast.
Oh, big old beast.
Big
Yeah, that
old
was
beast.
some big car.
Yes. Anyway, thank you all for coming in. Any last say before we go up, Pops?
No, everybody have a great night and don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive, guys. Have a great night. See you until next time.